How we doing, everyone?
We
Best
up,
race of the
dude.
year.
We're up.
Dude,
Yeah.
we are up. Holy hell, bro. Episode 45, Lockup Podcast, Brazilian GP. Hands down, best race of the year.
Look who I'm
I'm going to get
with.
that out there.
George Russell
Mr.
himself.
King George himself. All hail the king. Finally on the board, which honestly, in this situation, it's a win-win regardless for Mercedes because it was either going to be Hamilton's first win this year, George's first win, period, and they finished 1-2.
And they got a 1-2, yeah. That's the biggest takeaway. Just jumping right into it. We got constructor standings here. And Mercedes is still in third, but they're hot on the heels of Ferrari. They're only down Ferrari's at 514 points and Mercedes is at 491 points.
Yeah,
So they're down
that's
about
they're on their ass.
like 23 points, I think.
Yeah, they're on them for sure. And I mean,
Yeah.
judging by Charles Leclerc's frantic, please, please think about the points. I need the points for the champion.
That
Like,
was for
dude,
his battle with Checo, though.
I know, but like any point with Mercedes and Ferrari matters so much right now, wherever
Yeah.
they finish, and
Oh,
both
yeah,
of them
totally.
happen to have the best weekend this weekend.
And Red Bull. Red Bull points matter too for Leclerc.
For
But
Leclerc, yeah. I was about
yeah,
to say, I was like, I think Red Bull's wrapped up with everything.
yeah. But dude, Mercedes 1-2 finish. Like, damn, that was a long time coming this year. Like, literally, they're cutting it to the wire to actually have some success.
Oh, I mean, we're at the second to last race of the GP, like of the whole championship, Chris.
I
Like
know.
hell yeah, they're cutting it close. And to be honest, I'm I think they're the most impressive team that we've seen this year because of how bad that car looked the first couple
Yeah, there's a
weekends.
story from like the start, like to starting to make progress to where they're at now is like most improved of the season, like by far.
No, I honestly don't even think it's close because they had a completely different car. Porpoising was bad. Everything went to hell. Like they got rid of their side pods completely now. Now they're the skinniest little silver arrow car on the track, and now they're finishing 1-2, staying within top fives, battling with second, third place, but like
Getting
really
wins now.
on the verge of being second in the driver's stand or the constructor standings.
I I don't think that they'll be able to take it just because they need like 23 points or something. And if
Yeah.
Ferrari keeps if they can finish right, even if they finish right behind them like they did today, I don't think that
You'd
gives
still
them
be off by a little
the
margin,
gap.
like 10 points or something.
Actually, no, they could win it. They would be able to win it because if they had, let's say, Lewis or George finish first next week, and then they have another 1-2, and Ferrari gets a 3-4. The 18 points that Ferrari gets countered by second place. So then first
This
place
is
gets
true.
25 points at the very least, and with if they don't get fastest lap, and then that gives them enough to take second place. So
This sprint race this weekend was also big for Lewis Hamilton and George to get those extra points across the board.
yeah, totally. I mean, George got the sprint race and he won the race. Like
That's a
this was a
good
good
weekend.
weekend for him, dude.
That's a solid weekend. Like I mean, he's been fight. We all known when he was in that Williams car that hey, when he got that drive in 2020 for the Secure Grand Prix when Lewis Hamilton was sick, like that that was supposed to be his race. You know, everything went to shit. Mercedes ruined the pit stop. He got a puncture in the tire. They put the wrong set of tires on, and he ended up like not doing so hot in that race. Now he finally gets his home seat for driving for Mercedes. There's two British drivers on Mercedes now. They're both at equilibrium. They both have the ability to race each other. And I'm totally glad Mercedes let him race at the end.
Yeah, I mean, they said let him race, but George just put the afterburners on. He
Oh
was on
no,
his own
yeah,
hammer time.
dude, they pitted both of them for softs at the end, and I mean, it's just like at that point you're
Oof.
already doing good on fuel, and it's
Lewis
like
was
just go
so
for it.
pissed about the pits. He's like, my
He was
mediums are
upset.
good. My
He was
mediums
upset.
are
My tires
steady.
are good. My tire. No, no, box.
Sorry, we got to cover. We're not expecting a safety car that just happens. And
Nah,
Carlos was
but
in a good spot to capitalize on that. He got lucky with the safety car pit.
I mean, no, you're definitely right. But let's go to the start of the race. We had the starting grid. We had obviously Mercedes lockout. We had a Red Bull lockout, third and fourth. We had
Hmm.
Ferraris at fifth and seventh starting there. Lando
With
mixed
the
in at sixth.
Lando
Yeah.
sandwich.
Vettel starting at P9, Magnussen starting at eighth after he got the pole for the sprint race, which was awesome. But we'll
But
talk
man,
about his downfall today.
he had to fight off all those top cars. Like poor Magnussen. I was watching the sprint race yesterday, and like every lap that he got past, it just hurt a little bit. You're like,
It was a slow, just like Perez at the end of this race when he was on the mediums and everybody else was on the softs.
you
It was
know
a
it's
slow
happening, but
death.
like it just sucks.
It hurts so bad watching that. When you know that Red Bull car is so capable of doing more, when he was dropping back, and then when Magnussen was just dropping back in the sprint race, it's like, dude, you see him achieve so much, and then it's like, it's slow. It's a slow. I mean, think about it. Max got sent to the back of the grid today and still somehow finished what within the top six.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
He
like
did.
I don't understand that.
I
Yeah,
have
he
him right
finished.
here
Yeah,
as
literally P6.
P6. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude's a freak.
like
I
that.
mean, Leclerc too. He got.
Yeah, same with Charles.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that was a crazy race, but like I mean, George Russell starts out in first. He kind of ran off with it for a little bit, and then
Oh, for
the
sure.
silliness kicked off with Daniel Ricciardo giving
Oh
giving
man.
Kevin Magnussen a little spinalla,
At
and
first, I
that one
didn't think it
hurt.
was his fault, but when I saw the little tap in the back tire, and I was like, "Oh, he just lost the
If he didn't,
rear end."
so for those of you that didn't watch, yeah, Daniel gave him a little love tap in the back, and then it sent Kevin spins a little to the left, and then I guess maybe he put his car in reverse or something, but then he starts backing up, and Daniel tried to pass him on the right side, and just crashed right into Daniel Ricciardo, takes
Yeah,
out both their cars. It was just yeah, that one sucked, and then
first safety car of the day.
first safety
First
car of the
safety
day,
car of the
yeah.
day.
And then Mick made a nice move. He got up a couple positions, and things were looking good for him. But in typical Mick Schumacher fashion, he
Yeah,
fumbled that
just
by the end of the race.
dude, with Magnussen out so early on lap two, like
He was up in like P8 or something.
Schumacher he had to salvage what he could, and he just slowly dropped down the ranks. It's like
Yeah.
he's driving for his seat, bro, and I think he knows he's not going to be in it next year.
Mm. I think if
I,
he was able to get some points and help them out in their battle against AlphaTauri, then because that's got a lot of money on the line, getting that
yeah,
constructors
sponsorship monies, dude.
and just getting to P8 in the constructors, you get a lot more like you get so much out of it. And I think if he was able to do something today, like it would have bode well for him to maybe get the seat next year, but he didn't do
It's
anything with
just
it.
there just wasn't the results that the team needed today. I mean, the Magnussen can't do anything
Yeah, what are
about
you gonna
that.
do? You got crashed.
Unfortunately, Danny Rick gave you a little, "Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah." He shot your back tires out, but
Yeah,
like it's that stuff happens. But
yeah.
no, man, this race, and
Talk
especially
about
after,
talk about the safety car restart, please. Let
oh
him know
my
what happened
god,
there.
dude. Brother, I can't even put into words what happened on this safety car restart. You had Leclerc spinning out again, finding the wall, which is amazing to see because what you had Leclerc spinning out, you had Lewis and Max going at each other's throats like old days. You had I think Verstappen and Leclerc by lap 4 or 5 or maybe 6 found no, it was lap 8 when all this went down. Lap 8, and I think both of them found themselves at what P18 P19 because Magnussen and Ricardo were out, and then
Yeah.
Latifi found himself above Max and Charles for a second, and actually thought he was in a Grand Prix weekend for a second. Like it's just
Yeah. I mean, I think we have to say, I think you said it best when we were watching it. Those McLarens are out for blood this weekend because you had
brother.
Danny Rick going after the Haas. They don't like
Uh
Ferrari. They don't like Ferrari because
They
then
don't like Ferrari.
Lando put uh Leclerc tried to pass him on the outside in turn six or something.
Yup,
Then Lando sent him into the wall, and I'm actually
yup.
I thought his race was over, but he limped back to the pits they fixed that car and got him back out there, and he,
Oh, I thought it was over for sure. When I see that Ferrari power unit and that back half of the car hit the wall, I think it's donezo.
yeah,
I was like, nope, there's no salvaging this. And then I saw him get up and go. I was like, hang on a second, we're not gonna have another safety car because he moved it.
they're
That's tight.
toast. Yeah, and then yeah, Max doesn't back down ever, and then he ends up getting into a collision with
Literally
Lewis.
not ever.
Yeah, so Max and Lando they both get the 5 second penalties, and then yeah.
If you saw the interview after the race, they asked Max, they're like, how was it battling with Max and how was this weekend? And he says, thanks to the team, he's
Oh
proud
yeah,
and
yeah, you're talking
the
about
weekend
Lewis,
was
right?
good. Yeah, and then Lewis was like, you know how it is with Max. And I was like,
I,
I was
I
like,
was
oh.
laughing at that. That was pretty funny.
No, that shit's funny because I mean, truly, it is like that. It's
Yeah,
Max will get his elbows out. I mean, for God's sakes, man, you saw him not even want to give the position to Checo, even though it was a late call. It
dude.
was a late call in the last lap, so I admit that. But
But
he already
but
was like, "I'm not doing it. You know my reasons."
yeah, yeah,
What is that?
that was weird. So I guess there might be a little tension there in Red Bull land. I don't think Verstappen and Checo are really best mates like sometimes the media wants you to think they are.
Speaking of tension and Formula One land, let's talk about the relationship between Alonso and Ocon real quick.
Ooh, you mean slow
Brother.
con?
Oh, mid-con, slow-con, whatever you want to call him, because
P12
the
to
boy
P8
peaked
con?
today. I mean, it's a surefire plan. And what did he finish today? Oh,
P8.
that's right, P8, peak. Like it it's one of those things. But with the way this Alpine car has been going, and when he's in form, Fernando Alonso makes it look like a champion car.
Dude,
But
he
for
he
some
climbed
reason,
12 positions today, or maybe more at the end of the race.
that's what I'm saying. And they're holding him back, dog. They are
I'm
holding
glad
him back.
I'm glad that they finally got a like a head on their shoulders and they told Ocon like, dude, just let Alonso pass you on this. This was the last safety car restart. They're like, let
Yeah.
Alonso by. He's got fresher tires. He's got the pace.
Ocon's crying.
Let me race. Let me race, please.
Let me race.
They're like, dude,
This is
just worry about Vettel, okay? You're racing Vettel, not Alonso.
like, dude, I mean, especially after the words Alonso said yesterday of, oh man, one more race and this is finally over. Like, dude, that's a dagger. He's not even waiting until the off season, dog. He's saying it's still in season. That's not good.
I mean, and
That
he's
is
saying that
not
as
good
the
for
team
Alpine.
that's P4 in the constructors right now, and they're in a close battle with McLaren.
Yeah, but with McLaren shooting themselves in the foot today, which the
Double bang.
first one, yeah, it was Danny Rick's fault. Yeah, that's tough. Then the second one, Lando just losing power and it going to anti-stall. That just proves that, oh, not only do they have driver trouble, the car's shit to begin with.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
honestly, this weekend kind of summed up McLaren's season, I feel like, and it's that
oh,
they have
it hurts
fallen a
so
lot
bad.
from where they once were.
It hurts so bad, dude. It hurts so bad to look at because it's like, and then what does Piastri do? Oscar Piastri's like, oh, I was so stoked to come to McLaren, and it's not looking too good right now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
we'll see how that goes. I mean, that could be good. It could be nice that I think they'll do better than they did this year. I think they like
I agree.
as much troubles as the McLaren has had, I think Daniel Ricciardo's performance definitely put them back a solid amount.
Yeah,
Hate to say
yeah,
it,
and
but
I
it's the
don't.
truth.
Yeah, I know. I hate to say it too, but it is unfortunately the truth. It's
Yeah.
just one of those things they're gonna have to deal with. But I mean,
Other
let's
teammate
see
drama,
here.
Vettel and
Stroll.
Stroll.
Oh, yeah, him yesterday in the sprint race pushing him all the way across the track and Vettel just
But
going,
look,
"Okay."
yeah, yeah, okay, but that's not the only time they've had a little bit of
Hell no, it's
dramas
not.
there. Yeah. No, like all year, like Stroll is trying to prove something. Like, dude, the guy's retiring next year. Like, take it easy, man. Like, what do you got
Like,
to prove that you're better than? Like, you're about to get Alonso who's gonna bully you all over again. Like,
I don't know if you played the F1 story on F1 2022 or
I haven't even
no,
played
it
the
was
game.
no, it was F1 21, I think.
Hmm.
Uh, it was the story mode with it covered Aston Martin and its drivers, and it's literally like that. It starts out with the young rookie driver coming in, having tension with the older retiring driver, and I'm like, dude, it's exactly like that.
Yeah,
It's Lance is trying to prove it. Literally every time he gets into a little scuffle with the driver on track, it's because every single time he's trying to do just a little bit too much.
totally. Yeah, and that move that he made in the sprint race on Vettel, his teammate, was just, I don't know. It was unnecessary. It was dumb.
That's what I'm saying. It was absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah.
They had positions locked up. They were totally fine. They were both scoring points. It didn't matter. They were fine. And then on a straight, the longest straight of the track, Stroll just decides to push Vettel all the way the full width of the track
Into the
and
wall, into the
for no
grass.
reason, for
If there wasn't
zero
grass, it would have
reason.
been the wall. Yeah.
And Vettel doesn't care because he's like, man, I got one more weekend of this. He's just like, okay,
Yeah. And I was telling you, this stuff, it's like, it's kind of a bummer to think about it. Like, it's so real now that Vettel's retiring, and like, he's been
yeah,
driving his heart out. Like, if he was
yeah.
in a well, like, good performing car, like, he would be up there battling for
And
podiums and
you hear
wins.
him sound genuinely upset when he can't make it into Q3 or Q2 too.
Oh yeah,
Like
totally.
he knows he wants to race and he knows he wants to be in a car that's capable, but I don't know, man. Something about that Aston Martin just the whole year nothing was consistent with it. They look really good at some points and then they're just bad.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm actually surprised they're ahead of Haas, but I bet you a majority of those points come from Vettel.
Oh yeah, 100%. Didn't Vettel have a P2 this year?
I don't know. I think
I think he
maybe.
had a podium once.
I couldn't tell you. I'm not totally sure.
Man, it's been a long season.
It has
Man,
been.
we're almost to the end. We're basically at the end. We are at the end. You think Mick
Yeah,
is done, bro?
I do think he's done after this weekend. I think this weekend was really his last shot to try to save.
Can we have some theories? I don't want Hulkenberg in this seat, man.
I don't want Hulkenberg in the seat, but I think they're definitely trying to get someone with experience. Because I was watching a video. I gotta find out who made the video, but they were talking about Haas, and every step they're making now is to get their team a little bit more competitive, and now they finally picked up a good title sponsor. They're getting a lot of money rolling into the team. Now they just need someone to consistently score them points and help them get just a
And
little bit higher up.
that's where you're right. That's where I think they're doing too much. All they need to do is find someone to be consistently top 10. That's all they need to do. And
Yeah.
right now, every choice that they're making, which yes, I'm okay with Mick getting signed back. I'm kind of okay with Magnussen getting signed back. But just to
I
replace
mean,
Mick with freaking
I think
Hulkenberg,
the Magnussen decision so far, it makes sense, especially with how he qualified. He got P1, he got pole for
yeah,
qualifying. He finished P8 in the sprint race to get them some points. And then in that video, they talk about the cost per points that they've scored. Magnussen is really cheap, and Mick has been the most expensive driver all year because he's destroyed a couple cars, at least one totally destroyed,
it's true.
and just all his crashes and stuff to the amount of points he scored, it just doesn't add up. I don't know how you justify that.
That's true. I mean, I can't sit here and argue it against it because I think Mick is a more than capable driver, and maybe he would have success on another team. But at the same time, it's like we've argued this situation before over and over again.
Yeah,
How
who
long
you
of
could
a leash do you have to give Mick? How many chances now?
who you replace him with, I think is more important question to ask. Like, if you dump him for Hulkenberg, I don't know if you're really improving anywhere. Maybe
You're not.
but maybe you spend less money because he's not gonna hit the wall. But does
Yeah,
he?
but this is Formula One, bro. Do you roll the dice on, oh, maybe he doesn't hit the wall? Or do you roll the dice on, holy shit, we could see a podium with this
Or
guy?
do you go and get Grosjean back?
Ah, I
Ah,
don't know.
ah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And Mick's not in
I
the
mean,
he's not in the Ferrari Drivers Academy anymore, so there's nothing. Ferrari's not
yeah,
pulling for
he's
him.
not tied to anything.
Yeah,
He's not tied
Ferrari's
to
not
anything.
pulling for him to stay. So yeah, he put himself in a not so good situation. Maybe he'll come back with
And
Audi.
Logan Sargent going to Williams really put him in a spot too.
Yeah, yeah, he's in quite the pickle.
I know that hasn't been like super like that's been officially announced, right? Without like official
Yeah, I
like
mean it's with the caveat that he gets the super license,
okay,
which he
yeah,
should
and which he should
easily.
because I think he's having another session in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, really? He needs another
Yeah,
one? I thought he
think
was done with all the North
maybe
American races.
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe I'm completely capping, but
Yeah, I so what I thought it was he just had to do FP1 in Brazil and Mexico and then finish P7 or up in the F2 championship and he was
oh,
like
okay,
P3 or
yeah, he
P4.
was third or something. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's totally fine then. Yeah, he's definitely taking that Williams seat. Yeah, with DeFries, Piastri, and I guess potentially Hulkenberg coming back. There's not many places that Mick can go.
There's
Like
the only
the
seat
only
left is
other
Haas.
place yeah, the only seat left is Haas, and I mean maybe in some sort of situation I could have seen him at Alfa Romeo or maybe Aston Martin if Fernando Alonso didn't have to deal with the Aston Martin. But
Yeah.
I, who knows, man? And who knows with like I know Alonso signed a 3-year deal, but he has an opt out after every year. Who knows? Maybe that Aston Martin seat will be open, and
Yeah.
maybe we will see a world where Lance Stroll leaves on his own and wants to race for someone else besides his dad.
But who
I don't
else
think
would
that's gonna
want
happen.
Lance
Yeah, I know,
Stroll?
I
Come
know,
on. Come on
I know.
now.
I just thought about it. I just thought about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer on the guy, but Lance he's becoming more unlikable by the minute with me.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. He's had some good moments, but he's had more so shitty moments than good, I'd say.
But no, the Brazilian GP definitely goes down as race of the year for me.
Oh
It
yeah,
had
number one, US number two, and then Silverstone number three.
I was gonna say Silverstone or Canada for me, number three.
Canada was good
But
also, yeah.
Canada was really good. But Silverstone, I mean, Joe Guan Yu kickflipped into the crowd. We had like we that was a banger race.
That was a scary
But
race. But yeah, we'll see what happens next week. They're gonna go
yeah,
right over
last
to the
race of the year,
finale.
Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi
Abu Dhabi time. Let's
finale.
see
We'll
how it
see who
ends.
finishes P2. Yeah,
Can can Ferrari keep P2? Can Leclerc keep P can he gain P2, I guess, in the drivers?
yeah. I
There's a
was
lot
about to
riding
say
on them
he needs to
Ferraris.
snag P2. And
Yeah.
I mean, are McLaren's just gonna are we gonna see the complete opposite? Are we gonna see a double Alpine DNF next week and the McLaren's finishing in the points to like sweep away like a final P4?
That would be insane.
Like I mean, I don't think we're gonna see it, but I mean, that'd be insane.
Yeah, I mean, Abu Dhabi doesn't disappoint. That's 2021.
That's true. It's gonna be a night race, so we'll have a decent time period to watch it.
And Latifi is still in F1 for one more race. So,
We're gonna have some excitement next race, bro. We're gonna
yeah.
have some excitement. But man, episode 45 in the books. Brazilian GP in the books. Mercedes 1-2 in the books.
Lewis doesn't
Like
have that win yet, though.
I know.
Maybe
I
next week.
it would have been cool. Like I'm so stoked that George got his first win.
All right, I'm gonna
Although
leave.
would
I
have
want to
liked to
leave
see
on this
Lewis.
one.
Okay.
What if Lewis gets his first race win in the place that he could have won the world championship last year in Abu Dhabi?
Hey man, we have one
And what if
race
it's
left.
because of a
Anything can happen.
Latifi? What if it's because of a Latifi safety car? Just saying.
If dude, if it comes down and everything happens almost identical to how it happened last year and Lewis comes out on top, that would be absolutely hilarious. It'd be like the planets aligned for F1
Yeah.
storylines.
If that shit happens, they gotta only unlap the cars between him and Max.
Oh, 100%. I mean, today they didn't let Yuki fully unlap himself. Or no,
Hmm,
they didn't let yeah, no, they didn't let Yuki fully unlap himself. They started
interesting.
the last safety car ending one lap early, and everybody else got to unlap themselves, and Yuki had to stay kind of in the middle. It
Weird.
was weird. It was weird. I heard Crofty say it.
Hmm.
But all right, man.
Yeah.
Episode 45. Follow us at TLUPF1 for Twitter, Instagram. Chris is still getting likes on his uh, Austin GP video. Please make sure when you hit that like button, hit the follow button at tlup.f1. Check us out on YouTube. I hired a template guy, waiting for him to get back at us, but we're gonna look good. We're gonna look good. But
We're
appreciate y'all
getting there.
checking us out.
We're getting there.
Keep showing the love. Shout out to my boys Green Screen, and we'll see y'all next week for the finale.
Yes, sir.
Later, gangsters.
Deuces.